City. I'm so excited to have y'all. If you could drop three things in the chat for me, where you're joining in from, who invited you, and what called you here tonight, that would be amazing. I just really want y'all to take a deep breath in and rest into this masterclass. This is a space to really let go and breathe. This is for you to get grounded and intentional. Capacity is a masterclass that has evolved from 4.5 years of me creating masterclasses online to assist people and really learning how to embody and hold what they truly desire in their lives. Because some people wonder how some other people can have certain things, but the truth is everyone can have the same things. It's just recognizing your blockages and how much capacity you have to hold what you desire. So this is about relaxing your nervous system and learning some new pathways and really opening up to receive. So please drop in the chat where you're tuning in from, who invited you here, and what called you here tonight, and we will move forward. All right, a little bit about me. I know some of y'all here already know me. I want to share why I teach capacity. It's really important because this did not come from theory. This came from lived experience. I've been teaching this model for over 4 years with the same company, the same tools, and the same compensation plan. And I have spoken to hundreds and hundreds of men and women, but mostly women. And the results are really all very different. We came to the consensus after years of working with people that it's not about intelligence. It's not about how you look. It's not about how beautiful you are, even though I'm sure you are. And it's not about work ethic. And that one might blow your mind a little bit. The differentiator with all the people I have seen have more success is capacity. It's always capacity. But it took me a while to figure that out. I've worked hard, I've burned out, I've overgiven, and I've tried to earn safety through effort. Does anyone resonate with that? Earning safety through effort. Like, it's just not right. And I learned the hard way that desire is easy. We can want stuff all day long and say, yeah, I want to be a millionaire. I want a nice house. I want a great car. I want an awesome partner. I want all of these things. Desire is easy, but capacity is the part that's not. And so I created this masterclass to get down to the truth so that people can actually root into something that can start to expand that so you can embody the ability to receive what you truly desire in your life. So once I built capacity, my decisions got a lot cleaner. My energy stabilized. And this took effort of showing up and being committed. And then after I learned everything, my energy stabilized. I felt very relaxed and my leadership deepened and my results became sustainable. So that's why I teach this. And if you're ready to expand your capacity this year of the fire horse, then drop a 1 in the chat. Yeah, Mandy. Yes, Rachel, let's go. Hey, when people talk about success, 111, yes, Tiny. Yes, Kayla. When people talk about the success, they're usually talking about what? Money, right? Money. But money without capacity will actually amplify stress. That's why you have really unhappy people with lots of money. Um, my dad has a term for this. He knows a lot of people that are very wealthy as far as what's in their bank account, but as far as how they feel, not so good. And so nobody wants that. What's the point of becoming a millionaire? Or if you don't want to be a millionaire, but somebody that's sustaining your visions and the money it takes to do that, what's the point if you're going to be unhappy? So real freedom comes in 4 forms. And if even one of these is missing, the other is going to collapse. We're talking about time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, and inner freedom. And inner freedom determines all of the others. because your ability to hold capacity and hold more responsibility, to hold more money in your life and to hold the life of your dreams is going to require that inner freedom first. So in entrepreneurship, if you were called here tonight to create more income in your life and you want to be a feminine entrepreneur and you want to make an income online and you want time, location, and financial freedom, the inner work is absolutely mandatory because so many of us have been raised to torture ourselves on the inside. And we have these programs that we listen to that are our blocks. And if you are willing to move past your blocks, but I'm willing to move past my blocks, because honesty is the policy of freedom. That's how you create trust within yourself. And if you have trust within yourself, you can make bigger, better choices. It's awesome. And you're going to have more people around you who can do the same. Because trust me, people who can't be honest with themselves will disappear. So you can have money and flexibility and still feel anxious, rushed, and unfulfilled if your nervous system cannot hold it. Your nervous system is what is your capacity meter. So if you're tripping out, it's time to take a deep breath and slow down. So even right now, if you're feeling slightly overwhelmed, I recommend taking a deep breath, grounding yourself, and releasing to let your body know that you're safe. So drop a number in the chat for me. Which freedom are you most ready to strengthen? And it's not about judgment, just information. So is it time, location, financial, or inner? Which one are you ready for now? First. A 1, beautiful Rachel. A 1 and 3. Cool. So you got the inner freedom going on. You're ready for next steps, Diney. That's great. That's really great. Magic can happen from there. All right, so this is the new paradigm success strategy. The old paradigm was built on effort and urgency. Go, 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 go until we're all wrecking our cars and we've turned into addicts and we don't understand what happened and how the rug got pulled out from underneath us. Why we're wearing so many freaking hats and we don't trust anybody. Everybody's moving way too fast. Right? Does that make sense? So the new paradigm is being born. Some people are aware of this, some are not, but a paradigm in general is a big shift. Just like going from wall phones, right, with corded phones to cell phones. Honestly, ChatGPT is a paradigm shift. It's amazing what's happening and how we can have our nervous systems relax because some things are being taken care of for us so that we can relax more and build new things and new creations. So the new paradigm is built completely on leverage, alignment, and infrastructure. Type that in the chat if you heard what I said. What are the 3 things that the new paradigm is built on? Really important. If you're going to get anything from this entire class, it's going to be capacity as your nervous system and how much you can hold. And these 3 things: leverage, alignment, and infrastructure. Drop that in the chat if you got it this time. Cool. Awesome. Meow, meow. So 4 components make it work: leveraged income, social media as infrastructure for trust, not influence. This is where a lot of people are getting it wrong out there. They are doing it for influence and ego tripping, and they aren't getting it. This is about building trust. So if you don't have the capacity to build trust, you're not going to have inner peace. You won't have inner freedom. You won't get the other freedoms, right? So that's what it's about. Some people got it all wrong. It's about automated systems that protect your energy. We want systems, systems, systems. The more structure you have, the more freedom you have in your life. Very true. I, as a little hippie girl running around as a young mom, thought that freedom was being a lazy bum. And then I realized, oh my gosh, systems are great. Systems give us more freedom. Structure gives us more freedom. You know, you're not going to the dentist if you brush your teeth as much, right? Like it's part of your system. You get more freedom because you're not spending all your money at the dentist and you're not in pain. Yay. Community and proximity to results is the next part of this paradigm. We need like-minded people around us so that we don't feel crazy. for thinking differently, and for no longer giving all our energy away to things that aren't working. That's going to take some support. And you want to be in proximity to results because you are the 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about who those 5 people are right now, and you'll start to see where you might feel limited around them or where you're picking up on certain traits that they have. And this is all part of that inner freedom, is having the awareness. It's not about judging other people or hating other people or abandonment. It's simply, do you truly desire to create a better life for yourself? Are you willing to do the inner work, which can sometimes take spending some time alone or finding some new people to hang out with, because you will get the results being around people with results versus people who do not have the results that you want. It just makes sense, right? So when these work together, success becomes predictable instead of chaotic. Boom, that's it. When these work together, leveraged income, social media as infrastructure for trust, automated systems, and community and proximity to results, you will have success. They are more predictable this way instead of being super chaotic. But again, the inner work, number one. So all of this really only works as well with the right vehicle. So you need a vehicle. This is everything. Hustle will override the body, but regulation listens to the body. So if we get really quiet and you go spend a weekend alone, or you're like freaking out and you just go get an Airbnb by yourself for a weekend and you're silent, I promise you'll get the answers you're looking for. But we cannot hear that intuition coming in and that guidance when we are hustling. It will override the body and cut you off from intuition. And it'll keep you trapped in cycles of just reacting to your nervous system as it gets worse and worse. And so many illnesses are stemmed from this. Your nervous system, it actually sets the ceiling for your success. So the more you can relax, the more you can expand, the more success you can hold. 2 women can have the exact same strategy and radically different outcomes. Not because one wants it more. No, 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 no. We know that's not true. But because one can hold it. Are we getting this? Is everybody following? Or are we like really getting it? Because I really hope so, because it's super exciting. When I first really got this, I was like, oh my gosh, now I have a meter for my for my nervous system, and I start to see where I'm in alignment all the time. Regulation is not a personality trait, it is a skill. A lot of us, maybe we're born as, regulated little babies, but real quickly we start to absorb everything around us because we're made of water, and water absorbs memory. So we start to become everything we've ever been a part of. And I truly believe that if you're born from 2 parents with highly irregulated nervous systems, you can have that embodied in the waters already. And so learning to take care of your nervous system may be brand new in your entire family. And that's chain breaking work. If you're a chain breaker, put it in the chat. I'm a chain breaker. Yeah, yeah. And drop a 1 if you're ready to build success without burning out. Hey, hey. Results, results, results. Meow, meow. Chain breakers in the house. Woo! All right. So the cash flow quadrant, my favorite slide. Some of y'all have heard me tell it a million times. Some of y'all are brand new. Some of y'all are here for your second or third time. It doesn't get old. Even teaching it doesn't get old. So this, again, it's not about right or wrong. This is about structure, being either an employee or in a self-employed income where you're capped by time and energy. Right here, you have the employee and the self-employed. You either have a job or you own a job, because it's all about trading your time for the money. You can't make any more money without trading more time. So you have no leverage. That's the point of this slide, is to really understand that leverage is when you get out of the linear exchange, linear meaning time, getting out of the time exchange. Woohoo! Who wants to get out of that time exchange? Again, takes the ability, you have to relax to get out of time exchange, because then you're not living by the clock all the time anymore too. So you have to learn how to actually receive a gentler way of making more money. It's a transformation, truly. But we go from this side where literally 95% of the population is at, making 5% of the money to this side, where you have 5% of the population making 95% of the money because they can hold it and become a business owner. So this is really important. And this is the bridge where most women are and where they want to go, is coming into leverage. If you're ready for leverage in your life, put leverage in the chat. Leverage means that you are not the only one trading your time for money, and you're done being the only person making it happen as far as getting those checks and income into your household. You might have somebody else working as well, but I'm talking about just what you bring in. Leverage, yes, leverage. Awesome. Leverage is going to require what? Capacity. So drop an E, an S, a B, or an I in the chat just so I can get some awareness. And if you don't mind sharing what you do, I would love to know how you make your income. And this is not about shame, it's about education so that you can have this transformation in your life. What do you currently do for income? If you're open. Now, going from a business owner, that means that you're not the only one wearing the hats. It means you have people. If you have people in your business, if you own a Chick-fil-A and you have 5 Chick-fil-A's and there's 50 people working in them, you have leverage. You're not in there making the French fries and talking through the window and delivering the food to the organization and paying the rent, and you're not the manager. You don't have to be all the things. Just so nice. And this is how you go from business owner, where more people equals more money, to being an investor. An investor is someone who now has money working for them. This is an incredible change of relationship with money. And if you haven't listened to You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, you've got to listen to it, because you must understand that money is something you have a relationship with. And you have to heal it. If you don't have money, you have something that needs to be healed with your relationship with money. And for some people, it's being able to hold it and receive it. Some people need to remove guilt and shame for having it. You might already know, like, some people are always afraid it's going to leave them. And so it's constantly leaving them and you're chasing it. But learning to receive is very new for most people. We are been trained to, work harder, more time. You're not worth anything if you haven't broken your back to do it. It's a whole mindset, but everything is energy. So your beliefs and your core belief system are going to be the results, because everything is about cause and effect. So if you want different effects, you have to have a different cause. But yeah, once money starts working for you, that's when you take the money you're making, you're investing in more things. So money's just circulating in your projects and your visions and what you desire to bring to the world. All right, capacity is a skill, ladies. It's trainable. Woohoo! That's great news. So emotional capacity, what that means is holding discomfort without collapsing. On a 1 to 10 on your emotional capacity, where would you say you are right now? Emotional capacity, 1 being very low, 10 being on like, you got this, you're unwavering. So when something emotional comes in, how quickly do you start to collapse and give it energy and feed it? Or are you able to look at it with discernment, look for the alignment that needs to take place, sit with it and rest and find the answer and move forward? This is a huge part of entrepreneurship. It must be embodied. All right. For decision capacity, what that means is, yeah, okay, Kayla, cool. Yes, yes, yes. Great. So your decision capacity comes next. This is moving before certainty. This really comes from trust. It's built through making decisions where you did what was in your best and highest good and for the highest good of others. So when you've done this, you're going to feel pretty awesome, and it may have to start very slow. But after you've made a lot of decisions and stood by yourself and didn't question yourself, and you don't turn around and like beat yourself up with buyer's remorse or something like that, right? You can move and you can hold it. It's awesome. This is like professional risk taking, essentially. It's learning to not have fear, but to look at all your decisions with trust and guidance, and that you're willing to do what it takes. And you can move before certainty because no matter what happens, You got you. So 1 out of 10 on your decision capacity. Rachel, 8, amazing. You can sometimes just feel it, but we also have to be careful because we have a lot of self-sabotaging programs that are rampant right now that just want you to be afraid. So learning how to discern what is your true passion, and are you willing to do that in this lifetime, or would you rather give in to fear and let that run the show? All right, Kayla. Yeah, girl. Amazing. It's so fun to watch people transform into holding more capacity. It's really beautiful. Okay, receiving capacity is the last one. This is the one I've had the hardest time with personally. It's holding money, visibility, and leadership without shrinking. 1 to 10, how would you say you are here? A 7, Rachel? All right. And all of these things can be trained, right? That's the good news. So no judgment on where we are with that, but yeah. Can you hold it? Are you good with being seen? And can you stand in your power because you know yourself and you know your mission, you know your why, you know what you want? Those things will really help you to stand in your leadership, which we talk about deeper in some of the other programs. So growth, it doesn't fail because of desire. We've already figured that out. Growth does not fail because of desires. It stalls where capacity hasn't been built yet. Amazing. Which capacity are you actively strengthening right now? Is it emotional, decision, or receiving? All right, the vehicle. Freedom without a vehicle is just philosophy. Write that down in the chat if you heard me, because that's a good one. Or put it on a piece of paper and put it in your mirror. Freedom without a vehicle is just a philosophy. And if anything annoys me, there are a couple, that's going to be one of the biggest ones. I actually believe that I was led into feminine entrepreneurship because my intuition growing up as a child kept wondering what the heck we could do about things. I was around people all the time that were just complaining and talking about bad news, and I was so worried about the adults and how they were feeling. And I was just like, but what's the answer? And it was like they didn't want to talk about the answer, and it drove me crazy. It literally made me super depressed as a teenager. I felt like things were already hopeless at 16 years old, like hardcore. And so I've always been a seeker and seeking answers and implementing things that were outside of the box with a willingness that has taken me a really long way. And I just love watching people expand their capacity to do that for themselves because, yeah, you have to have a vehicle. And I've tried several. I have tried several and they've all given me experience. I don't regret any of them, but the one I have now is where it's at. So most women, they'll try to force freedom out of systems that they were never designed to create. So most women will try to force freedom out of systems that they were never designed to create. This is like, this is limitation. So you're like, okay, if I get overtime now, then maybe I can have a vacation this year. You're trying to force freedom out of a system that you don't have any power over. For me, it was real estate. I thought I had it going on. I made $100,000 a year. And then what happened? COVID came and the market crashed and I had no power. And I'm trying to like keep my freedom of my income over something that I didn't create. And I was stuck. And that's actually what led me here, which is amazing. So I'm super grateful for the guidance and and that's awesome. So I'm not complaining, but you'll see what I'm saying. And that's not personal failure, that's just a vehicle problem. The right vehicle supports who you already are while stretching your capacity. That's a win-win. So let me show you the one that we use. All right, this is our magical wellness technology. This vehicle shows up as wellness technology you can put right in your home. It's great. It's electrolyzed reduced water technology for drinking, cooking, cleaning, and daily use. This is not a consumable. This is infrastructure. This is changing so many patterns and cycles in your household to bring more structure, from removing chemicals to replacing antiseptics for everything, for cleaning, for chemicals in your laundry detergent. You can create your own toothpaste with this. You can degrease your stovetop with this. You can make so many things with an ionizer. And that's what this is. It's a Japanese hospital grade certified 52-year-old company's water ionizer that I affiliated with 4.5 years ago. I literally didn't know what it was. I saw marketing around getting paid to be you and affiliate marketing. And I was like, I had $250 left and I didn't know what else to do. The market had crashed and I was like, I have to buy this thing and then I can like do what? Like on the internet? I just went into this academy, which is optional for anybody who wants to really learn affiliate marketing tools and things like that. That's available for people. But I mean, I got this machine. I bought this machine. Took me a while. I had to start doing gratitude practices and removing programs that I had. My belief system shifted, my core beliefs shifted, and I manifested the funds out of willingness and pure decisive action that this was a full F yes for me. And there you go. When you have a soul yes, you will make it happen because there is no lack of money on the planet, folks. There is simply a lack of motivation. So if you want a vehicle that can provide all of these freedoms for you, it's going to be a process, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. As long as you're fully committed to that transformation and you don't go nowhere, you're going to get results. It's just amazing. So yeah, I called this water magic water for 6 months. I didn't understand what it was doing. And now here I am 4.5 years down the road, and my father is in the business. My stepfather is certified through the Molecular Hydrogen Institute. My brother is in it. Now we're affiliating this with an online travel agency for retreats globally. It's just so much fun, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but this is the vehicle, and leadership is going to start with embodiment. So where would embodiment start? It's going to start in your waters, the waters in your body. So you really do start to experience the transformation before you even share it. Can y'all repeat that after me? You experience it before you share it. Very important. Some people just get ahead of themselves. They just want the money and they will order one of these and have no idea what it is. And that's why they return them, which is silly, silly, sad. Silly, silly, sad. I could talk for 5 million hours about the machine, but we can talk about that on a clarity call as well. I want to go into why this works. If you have any questions at all about the machine and the products, just know that you'll have a questionnaire afterwards to answer, and we're very happy to get you those answers. This company is 52 years old. It's from Okinawa, Japan, the #1 blue zone in the world where people live longer than anywhere else. And this is not a trend. Unfortunately, it's being used as a trend online, which has actually somewhat hurt the company, to be honest, because this was built belly to belly traditionally by people who shared through trust, by word of mouth with each other until it was in 140 countries. In 52 years, started by Mr. Oshiro, who was originally indigenous and followed his intuition to be guided to the very first time that these machines were being presented by the doctor and scientists that recreated living water, we call it, electrolyzed reduced water. These machines are emanating nature, so powerful. And we have evolved as a human species for thousands of years on what this machine is emanating that nature does. Huge, huge. It creates H2. And like I said, I could talk your head off about that. But feel free to ask whoever invited you here more questions about the machine. Again, this is not a trend. It's not a hype. This is about longevity and people who care about that. Water is essential and the demand is absolutely permanent, which is why this works. We will always need water. And as water quality goes through its issues with our population growing, a lack of care for our health, people doom scrolling all day on their phones while it just gets worse. Trust me, you are in the right market here. This company operates on a triple bottom line, meaning that it serves people, planet, and profit. And to me, that's a karmic business that's aligned. Enagic is the name of the company, and they didn't change to fit the internet. The internet is finally catching up to Enagic. So if you look up this company and you see anything negative from people online, let me tell you, those are people who thought they were going to get rich quick before they had the capacity to hold anything and who did not want to sit down and slow down and learn something new. That's dead serious. And I will say that to anybody's face because I have my results in 4.5 years, and this has been my lifeline. I am so loyal to this company and what it has done for my family and all of the improvements we've had to our health and the ability to create an income with my family that also includes generational wealth. You can get to a place in this business where you can will this all to your family. We can do that anyways, but you can make 5,000 minimum and essentially retire for the rest of your life a month. 5,000 a month, and it goes up from there. But it's all about your willingness and your ability to stay there and learn and expand and hold capacity and truly be of service to yourself first and build that trust so that you can build it with others. Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. Yes, experience before sharing. Boom. The Quad Foundation. So leadership is embodied. It is a skill, just like capacity is a skill. Relaxing your nervous system is a skill. Yeah. So grateful that I can do this now. I did not have the capacity I have now if it wasn't for being a part of this. So our quad package includes 2 Kangen machines, an Anespa shower unit, and our Ukon turmeric. The reason we suggest this is so that you have a loaner machine because 85% of people who borrow one are going to buy one. It's very hard for them to have it leave if it's been there for more than 2 weeks and they've actually started to feel the results. We have 1 machine for the daily life, 1 for the placement and the experience for others, water for consumption and for bathing because we have the Anespa shower unit that's removing the chlorine that is very dangerous to our health. We should not be breathing in hot chlorine, and chlorine is actually taking water from our bodies. So we've got to, take this into our own hands and our own responsibility. And the great thing too is that all of these products last forever. The Kangen machines, we've had them last 20 to 30 years. So some people just buy one in a lifetime. And if you take care of it, I wouldn't be surprised if it lasted your whole life. I'm not even kidding. Um, the Anespa, again, that one's going to last too. You're just going to replace filters. So this is not like something you're going to keep buying over and over and over again. There's no overhead, nothing like that. If anything, if you buy the turmeric, that's the only consumable. Well, we have 2 consumables now, but that one you would buy again, because you're using it. And we have a way to make that profitable for you. So it's pretty awesome. So again, this is not about buying more. This is about positioning, because if you're coming in with a quad and you're going big, you have that story to tell. And in entrepreneurship, everything is about storytelling, which is beautiful. Where you come from and your past is going to be very important that you be able to tell that story in the future so that the transformation that being a part of this can be witnessed by others, which will be a part of that capacity of being witnessed and seen, right? And so also how you choose to enter will be your story. So if you're coming in with a quad, you're likely to sell quads. We also have trifecta packages with just 3 products. If you do that, you're very likely to also sell those too. If you come in with just a machine and that's what you're getting the benefits from and you can talk about, it makes sense that you're probably going to sell mostly those machines. So we love having all the products and all the benefits. It's a part of relaxing our nervous systems as well. Okay, we also have our protection here for our M-Guard protection EMF awareness. This is finally being recognized for what it deserves to be recognized for, because we have so many things going on at once now. TVs, computers, towers outside. I have a ring light right next to me, and we just keep getting more technology, cell phones and big TVs. And these things especially affect little babies. So if you have little babies, really important that you get EMF protection because they're very susceptible in their waters to radiation. But this actually creates a harmonious wave that blocks that out. It's amazing. This comes from the top Malaysian universities, and they spent 7 years to get this done to create the very best. And then our company bought the patent in November. We have Kangen Air. These are portable quality air filtration systems you can take with you everywhere. In Okinawa, they tend to have a lot of mold, so this was a big product for them. And I love that you can travel with it. And they have these great videos where like they have one on in a bathroom that was covered in mold and the mold goes away. Like, wow. Anything from this company is going to be top notch. This is not cheap knockoff stuff. This is not crap that you're just over consuming. This is longevity investments in yourself and a business that each product comes with a global distribution ID number. And so you literally have a business by purchasing something for yourself. It's a one-time purchase and you're in the door for life. That's pretty incredible. Okay, so I get a little bit excited. All right, Wagyu beef. This is pretty new. It's so exciting. They just opened up their Wagyu beef place in America. We weren't able to access it when it was just in Okinawa, but now it's in California. And these cows are drinking Kangen water from the ionizers, and they are eating grass that's grown with Kangen water. And if you know anything about beef, the people who are like beef crazy, they know that this is the platinum beef that you could get. So these are optional. What matters most, again, is always going to be about the ecosystem of this entire this global prosperity movement from the inside out. Every product is going to include that ID number that you can start making commissions from, even if you finance. You can do in-house financing or out-of-house financing. We have options for either one, and your credit score is irrelevant if you do in-house financing through the company, and you are allowed to do that with one product. So you're not locking yourself into just one decision. You're stepping into something that you can grow with on your journey. All right, let's talk money. You love money and money loves you, and you're cool with that. Drop that in the chat. Say, I'm cool with money. I'm cool with money. Open to receive. So the comp plan is patented. There is literally nothing else like it on the planet. So if you've been a part of some kind of small ticket MLM or any other kind of business that threw you off, or you thought that this was a pyramid scheme, first of all, pyramid schemes are illegal and they do not have a product. There's a lot of misrepresentation around that word. And it's really silly, actually, but either way, this company is 52 years old. I have a 1099. I have to pay my taxes. However, as an entrepreneur, all of this is also a tax write-off. Woo! Did you hear me on that? So the compensation plan is all about leverage. All right, you don't need to memorize all of this, but let's just get comfortable with numbers for a minute. A single K8, that's going to be kind of like a more linear purchase. Okay, you got a K8, cool. You have one product and you're working on things. You make one sale to somebody else, you make $350 on your first sale. Boom, even if you're financing your machine. That is so generous. And then your second sale will also be $350. Once you have two sales, you go to your new ranking, which essentially all that means is you make a higher commission because you have education and you deserve to be paid more. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So your third to 10th sales, getting more education, helping people out, asking questions. All right, $700 per sale on those machines. And the great news is if one of those people that you sold to sells a machine, because they are in your 2A lane where you make $700 commission, you will also make $700 of commission. That's the beauty of this comp plan. But as you can see, these are the commissions for the ranks based on the total number of sales. And group sales count for you to rank up. The reason this is not your normal MLM structure or some money going to the top bullshit, excuse my French, but it's because the person you could sell to somebody else and that person can actually completely pass you in this business because they made more group sales in their organization. So it's nobody's like, you can cap out on people too. There's a whole 8-point system, which we explain in our training, which we do start tomorrow, by the way. And you'll see how you make money until you've educated people fairly. And then you don't make money from those people anymore. You go into a structure that gives you monthly bonuses for being an educator. So now I teach mentorships, I teach these master classes. Yeah, so as long as you're willing to learn, like I said earlier, you will expand your capacity. And over time, through these sales, you'll get education and support and go to what's called 6A here, where you're making $2,100 on those K8 machines. Hey, that's at 100 sales. By the way, that took me 2 years to do that. And it's different for everyone. It just really depends on your capacity, how much extra time you have to learn, pour into your business. The trifecta here is if you came in with 3 products. If you do that, Let's say you got an Anespa, a K8, and the Ukon turmeric, and then you're selling those, your first sale, you're actually making $585. So again, how you come in is powerful, but don't let that discourage you. Meet yourself where you're at. Feel your nervous system. Do what you can and just don't ever stop. That's the whole dealio. Everything compounds interest. So 3 to 10 sales, you're making $1,170 per sale. And if one of these people sells a trifecta, you're making $1,170 on that trifecta sale. Leverage, leverage, leverage. Put leverage in the chat if you're feeling this. Does anybody have any questions? Put them in the chat. I'm happy to do my best to answer questions tonight. If you come in with a quad, you'll have two K8s, an Anespa, and the Ukon, that first package we talked about. Quad is queen, we say. So your first quad sale, you're going to be making $935. But because your first 1 to 2 sales ranks you up, you've actually already done that by buying your quad. Your first product is your entry product, and the other 3 purchases that you make, you'll make commissions on those. So you've already done it. So you're actually, your first sale selling a quad to anyone is $1,870. This is life-changing money and a life-changing business model and the life-changing products. Cool. And you get to where I'm at. So I'm at 6A. I've done 6A twice now. I'm almost 6A 3 times. So I make $5,610 if I sell a quad sale right now individually. However, I know this business very, very, very well. And if you are not selfish and you are here for the long-term gains of being a leader and you really learn this comp plan, I have taken some cuts to assist people in building this business because some people have more capacity than others. And I very happily show up and support the people who are showing up. And so the point is that everybody gets to 100 sales. Because once that happens, we go into bonus money and we go to generational wealth. And that's the goal for anybody joining on my team. And for anyone that works with me, because I also help other Enagic distributors too. So if you were invited by somebody else, just know that that means I support them as well in their businesses, even though they're not even in my downline, because this is a global prosperity movement. This is a huge ecosystem and a family that is relaxing people's nervous systems and allowing us to really shift the way that the world is being viewed and how we do business and how we invest. All right, the first wins right here. Momentum isn't hype, it's stabilization. So as you start to get momentum, you're going to start to stabilize. This is where the transition goes, where you're like, oh my gosh, I might quit my job and get a part-time job because I'm receiving checks in the mail. Yeah. Your first 5 sales are going to build your confidence. So get those done. And if anybody else can make the sales, then you can make the sales. And if you have an ick around sales, we need to work on that program because y'all, sales isn't taught in school for a reason. Your power is in being able to sell what you are passionate about, whether you are making money or not. But selling what is valuable to you, your ideas of the world, your what you want to build, who you want to be. And so we are all a living, walking, talking water business. We were born that way with a social security number and a business ID, which is our name in all capital letters on our birth certificates. That's claiming yourself in entrepreneurship. And I go deeper into that in other trainings. 10 sales, now you built clarity. Hey, rising on up, you're going from stabilization to confidence to clarity. And then 6-figure momentum comes from consistency, showing up. So don't compare your timeline with anybody else. It wouldn't matter if you did this in 10 years and you were making $100,000 a year here, would it still have been worth it compared to what you have going on right now? Please give me an honest answer on that. If it took you 10 years, would you still do it if you could make $100,000 a year, and would it be better than the plan you have right now? We have people do it in 5. We have people do it in 2. We have people do it in 6 months. But for me, even if it took 20 years, it was better than what I had going on. Anybody open? No? Yes, Michelle, that's what's up. That's commitment. This world needs more commitment. Yeah, girl. Yes, Diney. Love it, ladies. Yes. This world needs commitment and it needs stabilized people. and it needs capacity, and it needs consistency, and it needs healthy water, and it needs people who can speak up, and it needs people who can be seen. Meow, meow, that's the wins right there. And that alone, you can't put a price on that. So why this path works for women, it works because you are supported. You are not solo. You're not responsible for knowing everything. You're not responsible for closing every conversation. I do all my people's first 10 sales calls and maybe more, but 10 is where I'm at right now. But really, y'all should be doing them by that time. This is affiliate marketing that has real infrastructure, real education, and real community. It's up to you how you want to go about getting the education, which I'll share with y'all in a moment, because this is your business. You get to do your business how you want to do your business, which is lovely. That's freedom. So when your nervous system feels safe, then the income becomes sustainable. I love this picture too because it reminds me of when I went to Bali. We went on a yacht at a mermaid retreat, which is the kind of crazy stuff I've done since joining this business because it's motivated me and awakened me to possibility again and dreaming and saying yes and just making it happen. All right, so how sales actually happen here. Number one, visibility. You got to get seen. So if that's where you got to start and you're not ready for that, we start there. Then it's invitation. You can share masterclasses that are happening by over 3 million distributors globally right now. So if you like mine, you can invite them to mine. If you like somebody else's, there are so many of us. And I teach people to do their own masterclass. I have a private course for that. Next is support. So independent product advisory. So I have a mentorship that is free for new people. As long as you do it within the first 30 days of joining, it's free. And I have one starting tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. CST. All that's required is at least a down payment on one product, even if it's the Ukon, the lowest price product. It doesn't matter if you have to build up and get the water later, although we really want you to have the water as soon as possible. Also, in regards to the water, it's very important if you're on city water that you have pre-filtration. So next we have the education academy. We have an academy. It's again, you have to have a product to get into the academy, at least a down payment. The academy is through a crew called the Freedom Era. They have developed the crap out of this. It's amazing. So everything in regards to building an online brand is there. Any kind of deep work you want to do around money, mindset, etc. There's also another academy that's more for faith-based people. That one's cheaper. Rachel, could you share it? I forget how much that one is. But different people in the business have created academies. Now I do a 4-week mentorship that's 2 hours every Sunday for 4 weeks, which is an hour of education for all of your basics to have a foundation so that you can actually leap fully from there. And then lastly is activation. You launch your business and you begin in a mentorship, and this is how your people will come through as well. So this is how the sales happen. They see you, they get invited just like you came here, they get the support they need and the education, and then they are activated to move forward. So just what you've experienced. You don't hustle, you simply follow a path. All right, real women and real results, different lives, different timelines, same opportunity, different capacity. This is not about comparison, it's possibility. So taking a look here, y'all, these are amazing people. This is Mandy Hancock on the call right now. This is a mama of 4. Talk about thinking you have no time. BS, I will send you to Mandy Hancock because this lady is homeschooling 4 kids. She flies from Washington to Dallas to keep up her salon while she's building her business. She's also a doula and is on call for births all the time. And she does breath work with people and a million other things that I probably didn't even say. Mandy's amazing and she will show you the way. She's one of my top leaders and I've watched her build organically with amazing sisters. It's just beautiful. And this is one of them, Lori Wallace, incredible. She does all kinds of retreats and work with women and deep spiritual work and healing. She's just amazing. And they both came from the beauty industry and know what it's like to have gone through that. And they really care about how women feel. It's just powerful. They're powerful. They are powerful. This is Altana. Some people know her. She's online singing her guts out right now. She just had a song hit like over how many views, or some people are using her song now. Like, I don't know, I think she said like 100,000 or something crazy like that today. She's been doing affiliate marketing online through Attraction Marketing. This is great education through the Freedom Era if you want that education. Some people build traditionally, host events in their homes. I do all of them. I just try to get the water everywhere. We have so many people here. I could talk about Lene, single mama right here, 2 kids, one with severe needs that she has to be taken care of for the rest of her life as if she were a baby. And I'm just so impressed with her and her willingness to step forward at her own pace and continue the inner work. It has been so beautiful. There's Kayla. Kayla's on the call right now. Kayla, I know she's open because she's being quiet right now on the internet, but dang, she's going through a divorce and she's doing everything that she can to make sure her kids are taken care of. And it is so beautiful while she deals with the chaos of corporate world, not understanding that she's sick and needs a sick leave and that kind of stuff. So we are leaving that paradigm through building leverage here, through linking arms. We got Crystal. Crystal here. Y'all talk about people who think they don't have the money. Crystal wrote into a sweepstakes to get the funds from a gambling game online that you can write to the sweepstakes. And if you write 100 cards a week, they give you $100 to play. And she came up with the algorithm and figured out how to get $2,000 a month while living in a homeless shelter with her kids on government assistance. And she came in with a freaking trifecta, folks, and went to Atlanta. So she's doing it her way and she said yes. And I'm telling you, when you have the internal sacred yes, there is no going backwards. So once you have that part, it's game on. And then we're just in the journey. And it's not about the destination, it is about the journey. So what happens when people enter the room? Hey, would love to have y'all. This is me. One, you can get access to the academy. That's an excellent route for education. Like I said, it's $99. I don't teach in there. Other people have created that. I used it for 4 years and benefited extremely. I highly recommend it for starters. Then we have my class that starts tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. CST. It's free for brand new people. It's $99 if you do not take it within the first 30 days of getting started because I want to see you succeed. And if you are getting the education, you will build trust in what you're doing. You'll be able to talk about it better, and that will make you feel like you're a part of a real thing. And from there, you're going to have foundations so that you can start speaking and showing up and standing in your power and sharing what's going on so that people who can't see past their own problems right now will either get out of your way or will be willing to follow you because you are standing in your leadership. So proximity changes outcomes. It's about who you're spending time with. I have results, y'all. I've been here for 4.5 years. I absolutely love getting checks in my mailbox. I love watching people go through transformation and learning how to make it work and having the willingness and the commitment and showing up every freaking day, however they can. And the magic of when the sales actually come through and how beautiful that is when somebody says yes and joins us. And we have so many other things. I've got adventures on adventures. So me and my brother are hosting retreats all around the world, including I have one space left for this one. This is my Queen Bee Okinawa immersion. I also mentor on something called the Queen Bee Mentorship, and it is truly for embodiment and to relax your nervous system and to get into a safe space with other women while you practice and be witnessed and truly slowing down. Mandy just finished it, so she could tell you it was really powerful. And that is also free to brand new people, although I don't have one on the books right now. But if you join and you haven't done it and you join soon, I will make sure you get a spot in there. Otherwise, it's a $777 value. It's actually 5 weeks, but the Queen Bee immersion at Okinawa, we're going to Okinawa, where magic is from. We're going to go get in those waters. We're going to do deep inner healing work. We're going to go have so much fun. It's going to be amazing. If you want more information, let me know. This is a $5,000 value for just $1,500 for anybody that decides to come. Anyone in Enagic can come. All right. Okay, so that is the end of our call, everyone. I'm going to be dropping a link in the chat. If you are interested in having a clarity call, we just ask that you please answer these questions in this form. This is to find out truly where you are so we can meet you where you are at so that you can begin to grow your capacity, so you can come up with a game plan and that we can actually put into action and get dates on the calendar and really find out what's going on with you, what kind of water you're drinking, how you're currently making income, where you sit, and just get vulnerable and make some great plans. So again, none of this was about convincing. This is about alignment. If this aligns with you, you will know it, you will feel it. And the next step is just to request that clarity call by filling out that form. All the calls are going to be pre-screened, and this is for readiness and alignment. So if you're not feeling it, don't fill out the form. We really don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste mine. You can come back to more of these master classes as long as you like. And if you do book tonight and you're approved, then you can join my mentorship starting tomorrow, which would be amazing. I would love, 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 love to have you. Thank you, Diney. So glad y'all were here. Thank you for being here. I will talk to y'all later. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.